Okay, let's talk about strings. So the only thing that a program can do is manipulate data. Usually, this is basically just going to be either strings or numbers. Now, numbers, you use arithmetic, addition, subtraction, etc. So you know about that. The strings are new, right? So the way you declare a string is with the string keyword. Notice the capital S. Um, then we can say, give it a variable name and say string is high, right? So the actual string value in this case is hi or high, and that gets put into the variable msg or message, which is of type string. So that's how we put a string into a variable. When we run that program, nothing happens because we haven't printed anything out. Let's print out that message, and then I run that, and you see it prints out hi. So I can go back up here and say, change that message. Hi, how are you? Capitalize that. And I run it, and it can print that. So that's a string. You can have any number of strings in your program, right? Goodbye, bye, and I can print that message out. Goodbye, and I can run that, and it says, hi, how are you? Bye. Now, what else can I do with string? Well, you can do a lot of things, and you're going to have to remember and learn all the various things that you can do with a string. One thing you can do is concatenate. So I have the string goodbye there. I can say bye and really bye. So that's an interesting line, right? I'm using the plus sign to put together this string, and the result goes into that variable. That is called concatenation or string concatenation, and we use the plus sign for that. When I run that, you'll see that it prints by really by, because it's concatenating this string with that one. Notice there's a space here, and that space shows right here. So I can do that. I could also concatenate these two. So I have a message. So say I change this to back to that, and I just print message plus goodbye. I can run that, and it prints everything. Concatenates these two, and then prints it out. I can assign string, string variables are just like all other variables. I can assign one variable to another. So I'm saying V is the message. Now I can print V. If I run that, it's going to print the message because both V and message, MSG, now point to that string. They both have the same string, so we print the same thing out. Say I did this. And then I printed. I'm going to print MSG. And so I'm printing out V, and then I'm setting V to this new string value, and then I'm printing out the message. That message, if you run this, you will see that that message is still, hi, how are you? So it doesn't print, you are here, because we haven't changed that. We only changed V. Um, so, um, what else? There's a lot of other things that you can do with a string variable. If you have a variable as a string like V. You type a dot and you wait a second. In Eclipse, you will see this list pops up, right? So these are all the methods that I can apply, I can use on a string. So, for example, the index of, right? And so if I select that one, it says, and I read over here, it says index of returns the index within this string of the first occurrence of the specified character. So I give it a character and it's going to return the index the first time that character appears in the string. So for example, in this case, let me just make it a little bit easier. I'm going to get rid of all that. I'll go msg.index of, and I want to know the letter W. So I'm going to print that out. So what is this going to print out? Let's run it and see. Prints out the number 6, and that is the index of the letter, the first time the letter W appears in this message string. So this is position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the W. And that's the first time. If I had said O, it would have printed out 5, as you saw, not this one over here, which is going to be like 10 or so. It prints out 5 because that's the first time the letter O is there. So that's very useful. There are many other very useful methods. Some of the ones that we use a lot are, let's see, replace, or so replace returns a new string that results from replacing all occurrences of all char in this string with a new character. So let's try that one. So I want to replace all instances of 0 with the number O with the number 0. And now I'm going to print out that. So let me first print out the regular message, and then I'm going to print out the message with all the replacements. So here it is. So first it prints hi, how are you? And the second time it prints hi, how are you? But the O's have been replaced with zeros. So it looks a little bit different. So that's useful. Another useful one is the to uppercase. So let's print that out. So you can probably imagine what that's going to do. So what that does, it takes a message and changes all the letters to uppercase. So it prints out, how are you? But now everything is in uppercase. Notice also that the zeros are gone, right? So message replace doesn't actually replace the letters inside the message. The message stays the same. What it actually does, it creates a new string. Like it says here in the documentation, says returns a new string resulting from the yada yada. So it's going to create a new string and return that string. It doesn't change the original string. In fact, strings in Java are immutable. They can never ever be changed, and we'll talk more about that later. But you cannot change a string. All you can do is create a new string from an old one and then put that back in the original variable. So the to uppercase is very useful because we need to do that often. Another nice one is the length. We're going to be using that a lot. So message.length. That's going to return, let's run that. It's going to return the number of characters in that string. So in this case, the string has 16 characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. That's one we use a lot. And yet another one is substring. Um, let's say we start at position 5. Run that. Oop, that doesn't work because 5, this is a good example. So I've typed in 5. What I really needed there was a number, not a character. So I'm passing in the number 5, which is a character. That's not going to work. I want the number 5, not the character 5. So let me try that. And you see what we did is the substring method, if we highlighted, tells us what it does. It returns a new string that is a substring of this string. The substring begins with the character at the specified index, begin index, and extends to the end of the string. So basically, we take the original string message, we go all the way to position 5 in this case, and that's the O here, and we take the rest of that until the end. And that is why I printed out, "Oh, are you?"